Welcome. Today is day 2 of the 21 weeks of Shaktiship introduction series. And today we are going to look at who can attend, who qualifies to attend the Shaktiship series. So before I even begin that, I want to read a poem. And it's a poem called The Call by Orion Mountain Dreamer. And this poem actually captures the essence of what happens when you join the Shaktiship and move through its various gateways and emerge on the other side. And what that is. So see, when you hear this poem, if there's a longing or a pull or a tug at your heart, and there's something unnameable that you can feel it, you can sense it, but you don't quite know it. So that longing inside of you, I would encourage you to see if you can feel that in the call, and that is what this journey is all about. The call. I have heard it all my life. A voice calling a name I recognized as my own. Sometimes it comes as a soft, bellied whisper. Sometimes it holds on the edge of urgency. But always it says, "Wake up, my love. You're walking asleep." There is no safety in that. Remember what you are and let this knowing take you home to the beloved with every breath. Hold tenderly who you are and let a deep knowing color the shape of your humanness. There is nowhere to go. What you're looking for is right here. Open the fist clenched in wanting and see what you already hold in your hand. There is no waiting for something to happen. No point in the future to get to. All you have ever longed for is here in this moment, right now. You're wearing yourself out with all the searching. Come home and rest. How much longer can you live like this? Your hungry spirit is gaunt. Your heart stumbles. All this trying, give it up. Let yourself be one of the god mad, and I would say the goddess mad, faithful only to the beauty you are. Let the lover pull you to your feet and hold you close, dancing even when fear urges you to sit this one out. Remember, there is one word you are here to say with your whole being. When it finds you, give your life to it. Don't be tight-lipped and stingy. Spend yourself completely on the same. Be one word in this great love poem we are writing together. Welcome to the intention of Shaktiship. That is the very intention. And I would go a step further from this call. This call is quite free of gender, but this journey, when you enter as the spirit, when you enter into this body of, or the biology of being a woman, what is that? What is it about it? And in a world that we live in today, we are really not given that space to own that, to really live that, to feel the vulnerability, the intimacy, and the juiciness of being in this body in all its aspects. This body of a woman with her breasts, with her womb, with her vagina, her clitoris, her vulva, and just this biology, how it impacts everything. The way she shows up in touch, the way she shows up in taste, the way she shows up in smell, the way she shows up in sight, the way she shows up in sound. All these different senses are enhanced in her ability to really taste divinity, taste consciousness that is her. So this journey of awakening the Shakti woman, which is a 21-week journey of Shaktiship, it is that journey of you meeting the beloved in you, owning and falling and actually rising, not falling in love, rising in deep love for yourself and for all that from that self flows out into this world and back into you. So that's this journey. And who qualifies for this journey? If you have this longing, I call it this deep fluttering in your heart. Like maybe everything around you looks great, you have the perfect life, everything. You're maybe you're someone who long to be married, have children, and you have all of that. You have a beautiful house, you have money, you have everything. But there's a fluttering in your heart, like this is not enough. This is not why I came. There's a constant fluttering, a constant thing where you really don't know. In all this that's around you, that's working so beautifully for you, somewhere you are not there. There's something in you that is missing. This deep intimate intensity, aliveness of who you are is not there, and you're seeking it. You really don't, you cannot quite put your finger on it. If you have that deep longing, I would invite you to explore this journey for yourself. Or if you are someone who finds just getting up in the morning and being in this body and moving through this world is such a huge task, and you do not even know what's happening, the heaviness, feeling this heaviness of something pulling you back and you're really not able to move forward, then I invite you to be on this journey and to really navigate, all those strings that pull you back, to see how you can cut those strings, morph those strings, transform those strings so that it becomes like a gush that moves you forward. It has the potential to move you forward. And if you feel like you're burned under rage, everything about this world triggers you, makes you angry, makes you feel sad, this unnameable grief and loss and feeling pain and woundedness and this whole feeling of change, and maybe there are narratives that change you, but sometimes even without everything you feel like choked, like your throat is choked, you can't really speak, your chest feels choked, your legs feel bound, your hands feel tight, this feeling, then come and join this journey and see what it can offer for you. Engage fully in this journey of meeting yourself, remembering yourself. And another thing is, if you really are looking, you're seeking this connection with the goddess. You're seeking this connection to more about the feminine, the great mother, Prakriti, consciousness, nature as feminine, as female, and really wanting to know what is it, what does it mean to be in this body? Yeah. What does it mean to have a womb? What does it mean to have these breasts? Yeah, these nourishing breasts that swell up. What does it mean to have a vagina or a vulva, a clitoris? What does that mean? I don't quite know that. I've never experienced that. What is the orgasm that everyone talks about? What is this about being a woman? What does it mean to be in this body of being a woman and at rest with myself? And if that is again an inquiry you have, I'm going to invite you to join, to consider the Shaktiship journey. And as you can see, I have put 3 categories here. So you might be someone completely new. You've heard about it from friends who have been part of the Shaktiship, but you've never joined Shaktiship. This is the first time you're joining, and it's great. Welcome. So you just join. You don't have to think about anything. You're going to be for everyone before you begin the journey, because Shaktiship is a voluntary journey. Nobody can convince you to be a part of this journey. You need to make this journey on your own. You need to choose it. You may hear it, but you have to choose it. Yeah, you have to choose it because you have to walk this path, right? So you have to choose it, and when you choose it, then you will make yourself show up. Right? You can ask for support, but it has to come from you. So once you've made that choice, you need to let us know, write to us. And then we will send you a participation consent form, which you need to read in its entirety so you know what you're getting into. Okay, because this is a journey which can bring up so many things for you. So you really need to know what you're getting into, and consciously you need to make the choice of walking this path to become the fire walker. That's it's simply put, this is a fire walking path. And so that's what it's about. And so then you sign and send us the consent form, and then we send you the registration link. You register, and that's it. You're on the journey, right? Now, if you're someone who has already registered for Shaktiship in the previous year, but you couldn't go beyond 3 or 4 weeks, you never did the body map, which is the most integral aspect of this journey. You could never show up for the calls, something, and it just happens. There's something like that. Then you can still join this journey, and you get a 50% discount. So you only need to pay half, okay? And if you're someone who joined this journey, you completed it, you received immensely from it, it shifted your life, shaped your life, transformed your life, and so you really support this work, and you still want to join, you can join, and you get a 75% discount. So you only need to pay 25%. But in both these categories, where you've already registered before, you need to buy the workbook separately, because the workbook is this time is going to be one of our biggest expenses, because it's going to be close to 250 pages, A4 size book, spiral bound. So that's going to be an expense, additional expense. Might not be too much, but that's something that you will need to buy. Otherwise, everything else is, for the journey itself, you pay way less. So I just wanted to say this out so that you know how to join this journey. Calling to attend, called again, if you're pulled again to attend this journey. So please. And about this journey, so it'll take a longer time, so I don't know how much I want to go into that. But one thing here is that though we say this journey is 21 weeks, and yesterday we spoke about the dates, we gave all the in-person Bangalore dates and the online dates for those who want to attend online, every week you have engagements. So when you choose to attend this journey, one of the qualifications is your commitment. You're committed to this journey. What does that mean? That means that every week you put aside 6 to 8 hours of your time. So one easy way would be every day before you go to bed, take some time, or wake up early in the morning, take some time with your workbook. Since this time you have a printed workbook, it becomes much easier for you every day to just go through it page by page. And that's a commitment. You have to commit to that. And what does that mean, 6 to 8 commitment? What does it consists of? It consists of reading materials. So we kinesthetically, we capture all the aspects, like the intellect, then those who like visual, those who like to engage with art, those who like words. All of you can find your space here, and I would invite you to explore that which you're not comfortable with. So we send you reading materials that you can read, books. So these are chapters from different books. These are chapters from scholarly texts, all rooted in women's wisdom. And 99% of the material that we bring you are from women. Actually, we only have one that I bring, one or two that I bring from a male author. Otherwise, all our books are founded in women authors, and that makes it very, very powerful, because there's something about being a woman and a woman writing, and these are not just any authors. Many of these women have really navigated women's spirituality, reclaimed their wisdom, reclaimed ancient, indigenous practices in their own lives, and are living in sync with nature, the earth rhythms. So most of our books are like that. So we send you readings. So all the readings, every material that you get every week is supportive of a particular theme. Yeah, it's supportive of a particular theme, and they all correspond to that theme. Okay, so you get reading materials, then you get guided visualizations. like visual meditations, like going on a journey and then meeting something or coming back with some gift. So it is just helping you go into your unconscious or subconscious mind, just relax, go into this dreamlike state, and receive and do some processing, do some reflections in that state. Or we also do that's guide. Then you get tools, like you get meditation practices, you will get womb clearing practices, or things which are rituals that you can do based on what is theme for that, right? So you will, and then there are the hands-on. There is a hands-on. The hands-on one is actually really looking at a particular aspect, processing it. Yeah, like for example, I'll give you one of the core aspects of a journey, which is power. What does power really mean? So we bring different materials from Starhawk, bring material from David Hawkins, looking at the three types of power, and then the power versus force. And then in our engagement, we really explore these power narratives that we read, that we have, that we are becoming present in our own lives. And how do we show up in this power? How have we experienced this power from the world? And how, and then seeing how we can shift gears. Are these narratives serving us, not serving us? How can we shift? So we give you the option to explore all of this either through words or through coloring, through imagery, collage work, sculpting, clay. So we encourage you. Now we have workbook, you can't do clay on it. Maybe you can paste something, but otherwise, everything else you can really do on the workbook. And so like that. So the hands-on activity is really going deeper into like being a woman. So we really have a whole activity around being all our hands-on activity, our reading, our meditation tools, and then we also give you many videos and audio tracks. So these are videos and audio tracks on YouTube, which are freely available, but most people don't know about it. I didn't know some things like this even existed. And many of these videos are part of the second and third wave of women's spirituality movement that happened in the United States, the second and third wave of feminism, which brought spirituality into women's movements, and women claiming spirituality on their own terms, yeah, and naming it and reclaiming it. So it's the goddess spirituality. And so many of these videos, you have the time, you can watch it through this journey anytime, and we give you the links, and now all the links will be in your book itself, so you can go through it, watch these videos on YouTube, and then and as you're watching it, as you're seeing it, we also create space for you to process it in your workbook. So all these things are happening for each week. So you can see. So in 6 to 8 hours, you can watch some like the audio tracks. You can listen it while you're doing something else. But even with the hands-on activities, though we have a workbook, we also have an audio track for every activity that you engage with. So it's not just reading. If you're someone who doesn't like to read but just like to play something, you can play it, and it will guide you through the entire process. So in addition to the workbook, you also get a whole series of audio tracks that go with the workbook. So these are what is required. So every week, so if you have this longing to really know yourself and reclaim yourself and go deeper into your own self, then you have every day when you come back from work or when you finish all your chores, you're longing to engage with this. You want to go into and discover another aspect of your own self and discover the pain and let it go. So that is why this journey is very, very important, that you choose it and you commit to it. Yeah. And now, since we have these online Zoom calls, and then we have the in-person gathering for the in-person container, it is very important that you commit to it, that you mark it on your calendar, right? So who can attend? Someone who can commit to this journey is very important. And also knowing English is important. I'm guessing if you're watching it, you already qualify for that. So knowing English is important. And some access to technology. because some of these materials we send YouTube links, so and we will support you. If you have never used, we will support you. Some of these resources we put it on Google Drive, so you need to have a Gmail account to access Google Drive. You need to download Zoom if you're on the online one. So some things like this is very, very important for your qualification. But the most important is the longing. Who can attend? There's a longing that is pulsating inside and you cannot quite name it. Like fluttering of the heart, like your heart has wings and it's looking to fly. So that fluttering, that longing is what, if you have that feeling, like intellectually it doesn't make any sense, but something in you is saying, go for it. And I will tell you, the minute when you choose to do it, there will be so much resistance. And usually what is resisting, if I can use a word, it would be the ego. Because the ego is the one that really creates separateness. And for something to dissolve and merge, it's the biggest resistance, because ego is connected to all these identities that we have built for our own self. Even the one as I'm an angry person to I am a great leader. And it's not about good or bad, just these identities that we have built for ourselves. And the minute you choose to be on this journey, you will see all these identities will start fighting, because none of them want to get dissolved, right? But this process, a woman's process of awakening, just like birth, just because a seed gets deposited in her womb, the baby doesn't come up in a fraction of a second. It takes 9 months of gestation where there's growth, everything, and then birth happens. And when the birth happens in a woman, when a baby has to be born, the woman has to die. Something in her has to die so that she shifts into becoming a mother, right? A gateway has to open. If she's going to hold on to all the identity she had before, she's not going to be able to evolve into the next phase of her life through birthing. And all those women who have been pregnant and have birthed know that process is it's a painful process to go through, to navigate. It becomes heavy, it's like bulge. So this is exactly the process. In this process, instead of birthing a baby, you're going to birth yourself. And I think it is the most painful process, birthing your own self. Because women in our patriarchal cultures have not been given the permission to birth themselves. They are always in service of the other. Yeah, they do not have permission to birth themselves, to own themselves, to care for themselves, to nurture themselves, to make room for themselves. They are not. And when a woman claims that, she feels guilty. She feels, she regrets it. She feels like she's selfish. She is not doing something right. And this journey is about stepping out of those narratives and becoming the woman you're here to be. So you can also play all the infinite hats that you can, because you can. As a woman, nature has gifted you that. So it's time to take out all those narratives that sit here and seep into this body. Yeah, situate ourselves into this body. And if you feel that longing in you, then this is the journey for you. Even if that longing is only 5%, this is the journey for you. So that's what it is. Who qualifies? So I hope that you will take this time. And another thing that I would just like to add is that we have 5 more minutes. So I just want to be honorable of time. Is that this journey is going to be very different. So every year, whenever I create a new Shaktiship, it's a different journey. Yeah, it's because time has moved, things have shifted in the universe. And what is ready to come now needs to come now. So this time there's going to be a lot more focus on our body, on a woman's body, her breasts, her womb, her vagina, her vulva. Like, reclaiming these aspects, because as women sometimes we just do not have that connection with our body. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of that in this year's Shaktiship container. And it's going to take you places that you have not visited before, for sure. So if this is something that resonates with you, I invite you, I welcome you, join us, walk with us. We'll experience deep sisterhood, deep connections. You will really feel seen, acknowledged, and held in this container. So I invite you, I welcome you on this journey with me. And so tomorrow, I'm going to talk about what is this journey about? How are we going to move through this journey? Yeah, the ups and downs and the rhythms and the cycles of this journey. So, with that, for today, it's bye from me, and I look forward to you tomorrow. Before I close, I just want to acknowledge who is here, who joined us. Jalaja, hi Jalaja, hi Ritu, Chaya and Gitanjali. Thank you so much for making the time to come live with me. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Please share the Shaktiship journey. Please share it with women in your lives. Invite more and more women, and may this journey of discovering our own self and standing tall in who we are continue. Blessed be.